Hey everybody, Chad Nobody Else's Auto tonight. We're going to check out some more cool new inventory. Something a little bit different, something I've never had in the yard before, which is stuff I'm always looking for. Things that I don't have, blank spots in the inventory, because you never know what somebody's going to be looking for parts for, and that's what we've got here with this 1967 Thunderbird. Have not had any Thunderbirds in this era ever, in these late 60s, so kind of interesting when I had a chance to snag this one. Now, be sure to click that subscribe button, start hanging out with us on here, because we've got a lot of cool stuff coming in. Just some of the other stuff that came from where this Thunderbird came from. Several Ford pickups like this, 73 to 79. I've had 4 or 5 of these come in over the last couple months we're going to be sharing with you, as well as a Torino GT and a Cyclone that came from the same place as this. A lot of cool old trucks have been pouring in, even a Rio. We got a lot of neat stuff coming up, so click that subscribe button and start hanging out with us and keep an eye on all this cool stuff that we've had hitting the ground here at Nobody Else's Auto. And as always, if you've got any questions, just give me a call, 620-786-4428. But this little Thunderbird here, 1967 Landau two-door. Kind of an interesting car. Like I said, I've never had any, so I don't know anything about them. I'm sure you guys do, especially if you've got these cars, know a lot more about them than I do. But since I don't know anything about them, let's take a minute and learn a little bit more about them and then check this car out. Well, let's take a look at this and learn a little bit more about the 1967 Thunderbird. We've got an original Ford sales brochure, which is what you would have picked up at the dealership when you went to look at one of these cars, if this is something you were thinking about buying in 1967. So let's check this out, and we can all learn a little bit more about the 67 Thunderbird. As we open this up, inside, it starts with when Thunderbird changes, the automobile world watches. For this will be the look of other cars tomorrow. Here are the new Thunderbirds for 1967, completely changed. And obviously, if you look at a 66 compared to a 67, they are completely changed. There is no doubt about it. 2 elegant new 2-door models and historic first 4-door. Yes, 67 was the first year a 4-door Thunderbird was offered. This newest and most elegant Thunderbird flies with a 390 cubic inch V8, new dual brake systems with power disc brakes, with a new kind of steering wheel, the tilt-away, the unique wheel that moves over to ease you in, adjusts to 9 driving positions. There are many special luxuries, comforts, and safety features that make flight in a Thunderbird a first-class adventure. Sounds pretty promising, doesn't it? Obviously a very unique nose with hideaway headlights. A very dramatic picture with the burgundy car against the black background. And then, of course, it shows the first thing, the 4-door. Something totally new for Thunderbird buyers, the 4-door. The tilt-away steering wheel. The Thunderbird 2-door hardtop. Now, this, like I mentioned, there were 2 2-door hardtops. The regular 2-door hardtop and the Landau. Obviously, on this 2-door hardtop, we see the Thunderbird badge on the C-pillar. The interior. And here's our Landau. Now, looks very similar, except we have actual full-blown Landau bars on the C-pillar on the Landau 2-door. The Thunderbird Touch, luxurious convenience, overhead indicator lights, 8-track system, cruise control. We'll see if this car has any of these features or not when we get to it. Comfort Stream ventilation. And here's something very, very interesting. Sliding quarter windows. Curved rear quarter windows, standard on both the Thunderbird 2-door models, hardtop and Landau, slide back out of sight into the roof pillar. Simple control permits smooth, easy adjustment. So this is something definitely interesting and definitely a little bit different. These actually slide back into the C-pillar instead of down into the quarter panel. like you would typically expect to see on a car. Air conditioning, tilt seats, sequential turn signals, dual brake systems, cruise-o-matic, all the stuff you would expect to see available on a luxury car such as the Thunderbird in 1967. So let's take a look at this 67 and see what we've kind of got here now that we learned a little bit more about them. Now this 67 factory 428 car based on the VIN. Now what's kind of interesting is I bought these from an iron guy. This as well as a Mercury Cyclone, a Torino GT, and none of them had engines in them. So it's kind of interesting. The story that I got is the farmstead that these cars all came from was down in southwest Kansas, and they used Ford power plants to run their irrigation motors for their crops. So they would buy these old Fords with the big engines, 390 Cyclone, 428 Thunderbird, and pulled the engines out, stuck the bodies out in the pasture, and actually used the engines for power units to pump water for the irrigation wells. So kind of interesting, but that's how it happened. So stay tuned. We've got that Torino GT and that Cyclone coming up as well. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss those. So kind of an interesting story on how these came about to be here. But like I said, just from looking at the sales brochure, there's a lot of unique features about this era of Thunderbird, a lot of things that I didn't know. So let's take a look at this particular 428 67 Thunderbird Landau hardtop and see what we've got here. Well, like we just saw in the sales brochure, these had a very unique egg crate grill. Almost kind of looked like an open mouth in the front. Hideaway headlights, which are still here. They're just up. But when those are closed, definitely makes a very clean and unique front end. Now, like I said, this car's been sitting for years. I would imagine the engine was probably pulled out of this car probably in the 80s, I'm guessing. So this car's rough and it's been sitting for a long time. But it is a Landau two-door. I didn't have any of them, so thought it would be an interesting addition to the inventory. Under the hood, like I said, the 428 long gone, so not much under there. But the rest of the car is for the most part still here and intact. You had a pretty unique mirror design, kind of an offset on the arm, on the mounting arm on those. We see the big wide C-pillar, which we know why we need it now for that window to retract into there. Let's take a peek here on the driver's side. And like I said, this car's been sitting for a really long time, but most of it is here. There we see our steering column it was talking about in the sales brochure. That is probably one of the deepest horn buttons I've ever seen, I think. Does not have cruise control like we saw in the sales brochure. There's one of the original wheel covers, and there's our air cleaner under that. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah, there's our air cleaner. Let's see. There's our decal on it. Yep, there it is. There's the original air cleaner. 428 cubic inches, four barrel premium fuel. These were like a 345 horse 428, and from what I read, I think these were 10.5 to 1 compression engines. So that's why it was very prominent right there on the air cleaner, premium fuel, since these were a 10.5 to 1 engine. So that would have been very important to have premium fuel in that thing with that kind of compression. We see the wraparound back seat. And there's the ventilation system that we saw in the sales brochure as well. Overhead, something kind of interesting. These have a band that runs front to back on the roof. Now, we look up here, we do not have the little indicator lights we saw in the brochure. However, that's pretty unique to have that stainless strip right through the middle of the headliner. So we'll get over to the other side and we'll take a little bit better look over there as well. We'll come around the back side of the car. We see this did have a vinyl top. It has all the trim on it for that. Fortunately, it's long gone and the roof is still intact. We can see where the Landau bars had mounted on the sides of the C-pillar. Those are inside the car. Around the back, kind of a similar type look. Inside the trunk, it's kind of rusty back here, but it does actually still have the spare tire. And for some reason, there's a lone camshaft sticking up there next to the spare tire. Not really sure what the situation was with that. But the trunk's pretty rusty in it. The taillight all the way across the back, and like we saw in the sales brochure, these did use sequential lighting for the turn signals. Trunk lock right here under the E. Flip that up, and that's where you had your key to get in the trunk. But kind of a broad all the way across the back design to kind of match with the open mouth front on the 67 Thunderbird. Over here on the passenger side, kind of more the same. It's mostly here, missing some of the trim, but a lot of the trim's still here. A very unique car, totally different than what you had seen on Thunderbirds of the past. Another kind of interesting feature here is we had a rocker molding that came down the side of the car. We can see the clips where it was at. It followed behind the wheel, which was common, but what was interesting about this is the way it kicked up, followed it all the way up the back of the quarter, all the way up behind the bumper to finish that out instead of just stopping here like most cars would have done. But there again, this was a Thunderbird. It was a premium luxury coupe, and little features and little touches like that is what made the difference. That came around the back and it tied into the piece of trim that came down the side of the quarter panel and then all the way across the trunk. So literally kind of tied the whole car together. Over here on the passenger side, we can see there's some more of the trim laying in here. Thunderbird on the dash. Power window switches up here on the dash. Another Thunderbird in the console. And the console, actually, if we move these moldings and everything, was full length. It literally went all the way to the front edge of the back seat and then all the way up. Storage compartment. And over here on this side, we can actually get a good look at both sides. There's another hubcap, there's our Landau bars. But as we look back in here, we can see both of these C-pillars. So if we remember, this quarter window slid back. So this unit right here is where those windows would slide to. Straight back into the C-pillar. Definitely there again, a different, interesting characteristic to make these Thunderbirds stand out. Now, along with that, these windows go up or slide back and forth, not up and down. So another interesting feature along with that, your rear power window switches on these Thunderbirds, back or forward. They don't go up and down. They literally match the direction that the window is supposed to go. Kind of a cool little feature. And even the door handles, look at these door handles. Slide back. There again, all these little custom touches is what made the 67 Thunderbird stand out. The amount of trim even on these door panels. Obviously you've got your grab bar surrounded by a chrome molding. You've got these stainless panels that run the length of the door panel with the lighting. Really a pretty elaborate door panel. So a very interesting car. Well, I hope you know a little bit more about the 67 Thunderbird now than you did a few minutes ago. I know I sure do. That's the great part about having this massive literature collection that I've got that we can work with to help me learn more, explain more things about the cars, and learn about some of these interesting features. There were so many things going on back in the day on these old cars, just like the quarter window sliding into the C-pillar, little features like that that we don't even think about anymore. So, kind of interesting, and like I said, something different, something I didn't have here, so I was glad to add it to inventory. So if you've got any questions about this Thunderbird or any of the other 2000 cars and trucks we've got here on the ground at Nobody Else's Auto, just give me a call, 620-786-4428. Having a short conversation about your project or what you're looking for a project is literally the only way to do it. Year, make, model, body style, the parts you need, all that stuff's super critical. Text, emails, messaging, nothing is ever complete. Just call me, we can have a short conversation about it. That way when I get out here and I'm going and walking around this 20 acres trying to check parts for guys, I have a good idea of what you're looking for. So anyway, something kind of neat, something kind of interesting, and I know I learned a ton about these Thunderbirds and actually think they're a lot cooler now than I did before we did this video. So hope you enjoyed it as well. Hit that subscribe button. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a ton of cool stuff coming up that we haven't showed you yet, including this F-250 right behind me, the 65, this white Uncle Jesse looking 76 Ford pickup, and a lot of other cool stuff coming in that you're not going to want to miss. So hit that subscribe button, start hanging out with us on here. Hope you enjoyed the Thunderbird. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. We sure hope to see you soon on the next one.